Hi, David O'Brien here, Team O'Brien Real Estate, Marin County, California. Here to talk to you today about an as-is sale in the state of California, as well as a request for repair. We're going to tie those two together. Being mindful that my goal here is just to be helpful, to give you information so that you have time to digest it, so that you have time to ask questions, so that you have time to look into the validity of what I'm saying. So then when the time comes when you're purchasing a property, you have some basis to go from, which should help to mitigate your stress level through that process. So in the state of California, when you're purchasing a home, it's sold as is unless it's new construction. You can get a home warranty with the property, which will protect you for the first year for the components in the home, but not the structure of the property. So you can get a home warranty. It would cover a hot water heater, air conditioning units, electrical, plumbing, appliances, things of that nature, but not the actual structure or the roof or the foundation or things of that nature. And typically those just run for a year. You can purchase those as a buyer. A seller can offer it to you, or your agent or the listing agent can also provide it as an added incentive when you're purchasing a home. But a property is sold as is otherwise in the state of California, again, if it's not new construction. So what does that mean? It just simply means that the seller is not, you can't go back to the seller after the fact and ask them to make repairs on the property. It's to educate you through your purchasing process that you understand you're purchasing a home as is. So that doesn't mean that you can't do your own due diligence for the property. And that's, doing your own inspections, things of that nature. Although I have to caution you, in this market currently in 2021, most offers are going non-contingent in this market unless the property's sitting on the market for a while. And so what I mean is the property hits the market. Usually they're looking at offers in 5 to 7 days. Usually they're receiving multiple offers unless the property is a dump or wanting seriously in some way, or it's overpriced. So they're getting multiple offers, and then the buyers, to incentivize the seller to accept their offer, are writing non-contingent offers. But assuming it's more of a normal market, you're purchasing the property, you'd be doing your own due diligence, and so you would do inspections such as a home inspection, a pest inspection, a sewer lateral inspection. There should be a city resale inspection provided if one's warranted, because it's in an area that the municipality requires such a thing. So just be mindful of that. And so you would do all those inspections. You would find things that you weren't aware of. And then if you found things that you weren't aware of, then you could go into a request for repair. But because the property is sold as is, the seller is not required to respond to a request for repair. But a hypothetical situation, you do your due diligence and you find that the water heater's not functioning properly, hypothetical, and a number of the electrical outlets in the home are not functioning. So then you would have your buyer's agent come up with or create a request for repair reflective of, typically with electrical outlets, you would just say, hey, can we get these repaired prior to the close of escrow? Because it's an easy fix, but the heater is not as easy of a fix, and you want to adhere to the timelines of the contract for the close of escrow. And so how do you work that out? You'd ask for the seller for a credit reflective of those repairs. Typically, if it's a single family home, 1,500 square feet or less, then, and as long as you're replacing just the unit, not the duct work, that's going to be $3,500 to $6,200, somewhere in there. And so you could ask for a form of a credit to offset that. And that would be for new disclosed items. Also, as is, if you found something during your inspection period and you couldn't negotiate the terms with the seller, as the example I just previously used, then you're well within your rights to say, hey, I'm not interested in purchasing this home, and then you can move on. It requires joint agreement, and then that's given because the seller wants to put the property back on the market, and then they release your deposit, and then you can just move on to the next property. But property is being sold as is. Just to touch on a little bit about the market right now. So San Rafael, just to start, multiple offers, 1,400 square foot home on Tamarack that needed work, had nice views, shallow backyard, smaller property. 7 offers, was listed at $1,050,000 and is going for $1,400,000 to $1,425,000. We don't know until it closes. That's just what's being reported by the listing agent. Another property on Tamarack, 2,500 square foot home, needed a lot of work, and it was listed at $1,349,000. The work just consisted of cosmetic stuff, though. But windows needed to be replaced, needed new carpet, heater should probably be replaced, electrical panel older, things of that nature. But it's going to sell for $1,500,000. Another home, South Novato, kind of the country club, but not really, was listed at $1,149,000. It's going to sell for $1,275,000. On that one, there was multiple offers. All of these were multiple offers. In each instance, the winning offer was a non-contingent offer. For inspections, one of them, no contingencies, irregardless of inspections, loan, and appraisal. And then one of them did have a loan contingency. Then if you get into southern Marin, recently there was a property on Morningside. It was listed, and this is Mill Valley. It was listed at $2,395,000. Received 20 offers, and it's reportedly going to sell for $3 million. So that's southern Marin. In San Anselmo, recently on Pine, there was a property. It was listed at $1,150,000. It received 11 offers, and it's going to go close to 1.6, we believe. 3 of those offers were in the 1.4s, and those 3 offers had no contingencies. At 1.6, it was no contingencies as well. And then there was one in Tiburon on Blackfield. It was listed at 1.3, and it's going to go upwards of 1.6, with most of those offers being non-contingent as well. Excuse me. So these are just some of the things to be mindful of right now when you're writing an offer in the market. Also, I found this to be interesting, just to end with this slide. So year over year, home prices are appreciated by 10%. And I would say here in Marin County, this is nationally, but here in Marin County, it's at least 10%. It's usually much higher than that. In some places in Nevada and San Rafael, it's as much as 20%. That's true for southern Marin too. And I bring this up because if you're a new buyer, you're just starting the process. Many people are thinking, if they're not paying attention to the news, that maybe they can get in and find a deal. That's just not the case. Most people are just. And the other thing that's interesting right now that I hope is helpful is it used to be, it was all about square footage, bed bath count, and that's still true to a degree. But now what's really selling is, does the property have a backyard? Does it have a pool? Is there room for a playhouse if I have kids? Even if they don't, and you're older couples per se, they're still looking for a pool and more space for entertainment. And that can be true for single individuals as well. So what my point being is that outside space is really selling, and the proximity to the open space. Closer to open space, the bigger the selling point. And that type of property will garner more money than the property that has larger square footage, if it's lacking yard space and not close to open space. Always here for questions. I hope you found this helpful. All the best.